It's that time of year again. It looks like a certain character has decided to come back. And she has friends this time. That's right, our favorite dancer is back and better than ever with the release of Not Krai. But the big question here is, what has changed? Well, Lauma is a new 5-star character that has been released in version Luna 1. She enhances the bloom reaction by converting it to Lunar Bloom, which deals additional damage and has the ability to crit. So without further ado, my name is Justin, I'm a top 1% Nilou main, and I am going to help you maximize your Nilou's potential. Alright, let's talk about Nilou's passives. Her A1 introduces a buff called the Golden Chalice's Bounty, which can be activated by completing Nilou's dance. Just press the skill 4 times and you're good. To use this buff, your team must only consist of Dendro and Hydro characters. Upon obtaining this buff, your characters will receive 100 Elemental Mastery for 10 seconds whenever you hit enemies with Dendro attacks. Bloom damage triggers this buff as well, if you were wondering that. All blooms created will also transform into Bountiful Cores, which will explode instantly, have a bigger AoE, and deal more damage. Nilou's A4 passive buffs the damage of all Bountiful Cores generated by 9% for every 1000 max HP Nilou has past 30,000, capping out at 74,444. It is worth noting though that this description is a bit misleading, and you actually gain a 1% Bountiful Core damage buff per 111 max HP past 30,000. At least I'm 99% sure that's how it works. But either way, 74,444 is her cap. Being completely transparent, you likely will not reach this without her signature, but go for it anyway, who's stopping you? As for her talents, you don't need to level them unless you're planning to do some like Vape or Escoffier action. Her skill and burst talents purely increase damage only, so these are really only worth leveling if you have C6. And don't level the normal attack ever, unless you're weird like me. The first thing you should do though when it comes to building your Nilou is making sure she actually is leveled. Don't be shy and get that number up to 90. The higher the level, the more HP she has, and the more HP she has, the more she's doing, so keep that in mind. Also, reactions do more damage at higher levels, so you'll see a sizable increase in damage from level 80 to 90. So Nilou's artifacts are pretty straightforward as well. You want to throw 2-piece Tenacity and 2-piece Forward Cautious Glow on her for the 2-piece HP percent bonuses. Nilou also wants some Elemental Mastery, but you really want to prioritize HP percent on her Sands, Goblet, and Circlet if possible. You should be getting your Elemental Mastery exclusively from substats. So here's how I would picture the perfect Nilou piece. Energy Recharge is not exactly necessary on Nilou as well, but it can be nice to have. I wouldn't go out of my way to build it personally, but if you're able to get it as an extra substat on your artifact, then that is great. Her burst has a very large AoE which can apply Hydro twice, which is great for producing Bountiful Cores. So while it's not necessary, it can be good for extra application. If you're wondering where to stop regarding Constellations, I would call it a day after you get C2. Her C1 is, in my opinion at least, very good, even though a lot of people say it's useless. Her C1 allows for 100% uptime on her water wheel, which of course means that she will be applying more Hydro and in turn even more Dendro Cores. Her C2 shreds Hydro and Dendro res by 35%, which is huge, and this is easily her best constellation. After C2, there are no more bloom buffs, so this is where you would stop if you only want to play Nilou for bloom. As for weapons, her best option is obviously going to be her signature, granting her a whopping 86.2% HP bonus for free at R1. This humongous HP buff will greatly help you in reaching her A4 passive's cap, and on top of this, she can also gain extra Elemental Mastery equal to 0.12% of her max HP at R1, stacking up to 3 times for a total of 0.36%. When all 3 stacks are active, all party members will gain even more Elemental Mastery equal to another 0.2% of her max HP. This totals up to 0.56% of Nilou's max HP. Let's say your Nilou has 75,000 HP. If she procs the weapon's passive, she will gain 420 Elemental Mastery just from this weapon alone, which is absolutely bonkers. Teammates will gain 150 Elemental Mastery as well. Fret not, however, Nilou has plenty of other options. The new Not Krai craftable sword is great for her, especially if you're running her alongside either Ino or Lauma. Or Lauma. The best 4-star option for her is definitely the Dockhand's Assistant, giving her roughly 41% max HP at level 90 and granting Elemental Mastery through its passive. Zephos Moonlight is also a good option, providing good EM stats and a team-wide ER buff. However, this weapon will not see incredible passive performance without refinements or good EM stats, so please keep this in mind. Other options include Freedom Sword, Tokabu, Shigure, and Iron Sting. Before we jump into teams, I'd like to give a few tips that I don't see many Nilou players doing. In Nilou's skill, you're allowed to weave in between Sword Dance and Whirling Steps. Use this to your advantage. You can start with your skill, do 2 normal attacks, and then skill again to get your wheel out slightly faster. It's worth noting that you get much more value out of doing this if you own C1 Nilou. Keep in mind that Nilou will almost always have the most HP out of anyone in your team, so if you're ever fighting something and it throws out an attack that might hurt a lot, let Nilou tank it. 99% of the time, she will live. Alrighty, teams. I cannot emphasize this enough, but someone needs to hold 4-piece Deepwood. Preferably Nahida if you have her. 4-piece Deepwood will shred Dendro Res by 30%, which will greatly increase the damage that your blooms deal. This is a necessity. So this is what I currently believe to be Nilou's new premium team. Both Lauma and Nahida provide insane buffs, and Kokomi keeps everyone alive. Lauma should be on the new set, Silken Moon Serenade, for an EM and Lunar Reactions buff. Lauma will also allow blooms to crit with a fixed rate of 15% and a fixed damage of 100%. This can stack with Nahida C2, which will bring this up to 35% crit rate and 200% crit damage. I believe that the ideal investment to maximize bloom damage is C2R1 Nilou, C2R1 Lauma, C2R1 Nahida, and C0 Kokomi. If you don't have Lauma, you can run Nilou, Aino, Nahida, and Baiju. If you don't have Baiju, Yaoyao works. A good free-to-play option that still holds up fine today is Nilou, Kale, Dendro Traveler, and Barbara. All these characters are free except for Nilou. Yaoyao, Candace, Nilou, and Nahida is also quite a fun team. It's not as practical as the others listed, but it can pack a punch. Yaoyao performs on field in this team, gaining Hydro Infusion from Candace so that she can drive blooms. Please note that bloom is a very inconsistent reaction, and all 4 party members will be contributing to it, so you want to make sure all of your characters have suitable builds to do so. Alright, now the fun part. C6 Nilou. I say this as a C6 Nilou main. I don't recommend that you invest in this. C6 Nilou is very fun, but I think that there are many other characters you can invest in that would be more worth the money spent. So anyway, let's talk C6 Nilou. So really the only difference between C6 and normal Nilou is that she's very focused on her own damage. This opens up opportunities to play Vaporize, Lunar Charge, and Freeze teams with Escoffier that are actually pretty good. Her C4 increases her burst damage by 50% after fully casting her elemental skill, and it also gives her 15 elemental energy. This provides great damage if executed correctly, which we will cover in a little bit. Her C6 grants her 0.6% crit rate and 1.2% crit damage for every 1000 points of max HP that she has. The max crit stats that you can gain from this are 30% crit rate and 60% crit damage. This caps out at 50,000 HP, so that's around where you want to aim when playing C6 Nilou as a DPS. This is a great Constellation stats-wise, but other than the crit additions, there isn't much else here. For weapons, it depends on what you want to play C6 Nilou as. 2 options stand out though, her signature and Farina's signature. Jade Cutter is also a good option, but you have to watch your crit rate as it is very easy to overcap with this weapon. Nilou's signature is the best for Vaporize and Lunar Charge comps due to its bonus EM. It also secures your 50k HP threshold easier. Farina's signature is better for Mono Hydro and Freeze comps due to its elemental skill damage buff, which is Nilou's main source of damage, and its HP buff. Her best artifact set at C6 is Golden Troop. This grants her a 45% bonus to elemental skill damage, which is incredible as her main damage source is elemental skill damage. When it comes to substats here, you want to look for crit stats, HP stats, and possibly EM stats if you play Vape or Lunar Charge. Talents, of course, finally gain value when you obtain C6. Level them as you please. Now, teams. For your standard Vape team, you can run Nilou, one of the following Hydro characters, Kazuha, and Xiangling. You can try swapping in Xilonen for the second Hydro unit, but you'll miss out on some HP percent from Hydro Resonance. If you have C2 Xilonen, this shouldn't be an issue. For Lunar Charge, you can run Nilou, Inefa, Yelan, and Kazuha. This team does a ton of damage, although carried by Inefa. It's a great option if you're looking for something different. For Mono Hydro, you can run Nilou, Farina, Xilonen, and Kazuha. Not much to say here, it's just a standard Mono Hydro comp with pretty good damage. For Freeze, you can run Nilou, Farina, Escoffier, and Seat Lolly. Your standard Nilou combo would look something like this at C6. And okay, I think we're done here. I wish you all the best of luck in your Nilou journeys, and good luck with your pulls. If you found this helpful in any way, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you, and enjoy Krai.